Welcome back to another Mobalytics video, and today we're taking a look at how to play against Nami. Nami is an enchanting support who can bring a huge amount of utility to her team, whether that be through her high healing potential, increasing the damage of her allies' attacks and abilities, or her heavy CC and disengage and engage potential. So first off, what's Nami's strengths and weaknesses? Well, for her strengths, Nami has excellent poke potential and healing built into her W. This allows her to be self-sufficient in most short trades and lanes. Nami pairs up well with a wide variety of champions in lane due to her E boosting the damage of their basic attacks and abilities. Nami's ultimate is an amazing tool for stopping engagements dead in their tracks or setting up her own team to initiate. However, even though Nami's CC is pretty potent, her Q and even her ultimate do have slow projectile speed and can be dodged easily. As Nami is an enchanting support, she's pretty fragile and won't fare well against high burst and heavy incoming damage, so positioning on her is key. Despite bringing a ton of versatility to the table, Nami does struggle when against a support who excels at one thing better. For example, those heavy sustaining supports can really shut down her impact. So let's move on and take a look at Nami's kit design so that we can get a better understanding of how she plays and what countermeasures we can take. To start off, Nami's passive is a straightforward movement speed boost to any teammate that she hits with her abilities. This even applies to her Q and her ultimate, so even if they don't affect allies, being in the radius of these abilities will add the movement speed boost. You want to bear this in mind when you're fighting Nami, as the movement speed bonus could allow her allies to chase you down. Nami's Q is a ground targeted AoE skill shot bubble that deals magic damage and stuns any targets caught in it for a short duration. This is Nami's main form of crowd control, and while it's very potent for its lockdown ability, its radius and its slow travel speed makes it fairly easy to avoid. You definitely want to try and punish her when this ability is on cooldown. Nami's W is her main trading and laning ability, as she maxes this one first. It's a single target ability which affects change depending on her target. If she targets a teammate, it will heal them, then look to bounce on the nearest enemy champion, dealing magic damage. The inverse is true if she targets an enemy first. Essentially, the wave will bounce and affect up to 3 targets, alternating between damaging enemies and healing allies whilst never affecting the same target twice. This can be used to heal herself and a teammate whilst poking down one target, or to poke down 2 targets whilst healing herself and an ally. Make sure you bear this in mind when you go in for trades. Try to position yourself so that the extra bounces don't hit your teammate or heal Nami's lane partner. Nami's E is a targeted buff that gives herself or her ally bonus magic damage on the next 3 basic attacks or abilities, whilst also applying a slow for a short duration. This can be a pretty hard ability to see coming, but actually you can see the effect when she uses it, and this duration of the ability is 6 seconds, so once you see that initial cast, you can just back off and wait for it to time out. Nami's ultimate is a giant tidal wave that deals magic damage and knocks up any targets that it hits. This is an amazing team fighting ability, as it can disrupt an entire team long enough for allies to catch up, or it can also be used to disengage from unfavourable fights. Make sure that you're positioned further away from Nami when this ability comes out, not only because its slow travel time will allow you to sidestep it easier, but in the unfortunate case that you do get hit, the knockup duration will be at a minimum. So let's talk about Nami's power spikes. Well, Nami is best in the mid game. She has a few ranks in her main heal by now, and a few items to mitigate any mana issues she may have in the early game. This allows her to contribute heavily to mid game skirmishes and team fights. Try to take her out before fights with a cheeky pick before she can really rack up those healing numbers. Nami is at her weakest during the early game. She's very fragile and prone to getting outpoked or all in. Nami is very squishy and easy to take down, but she still does have a lot of potency in her E, so factor this in when you are trying to punish her. So how do we play against Nami throughout all stages of the game? Well, in the early game, your main issue in lane is going to be dealing with her W and her E. Due to her W being a point and click ability that heals and harms, make sure to start whipping out your long range poke so she doesn't have the opportunity to heal back up in a trade. Nami's E ability can be absolutely devastating, especially when she's with the right lane partner. Make sure you're respecting this damage output and hang back if necessary, especially if Nami and her AD carry level up before you do. Nami's Q and ultimate both offer a great amount of CC. Try to avoid getting hit by one, as this will easily let her land another. If you do get hit by either of these abilities, it's going to be really punishing. During the mid game, Nami will be an absolute powerhouse of an enchanter, full of healing and utility, and also make sure you're respecting her damage output as well, as at this point of the game, she can deal quite a respectable amount. As fights get more and more hectic, Nami's CC may be more difficult to dodge than you'd expect. Be aware of her positioning and save any movement abilities you can to dodge these abilities and then retaliate. The worst thing you can do in the mid game teamfights is to leave Nami alone. She'll continuously buff and heal her allies, and this can really harm your chances of winning those mid game fights and skirmishes. Try to catch her out before a fight, or just include her in your target priority. In the late game, Nami is still highly effective, but she should be falling off a little bit at this time, especially if you picked up those anti-healing items. As we've mentioned several times throughout this guide, Nami is very squishy and fragile. You want to look for opportunities to flank and take her out, as you can burst her so quickly if you catch her on her own. Make sure you're respecting Nami's ultimate in the late game. This signature wave can be a hugely impactful ability in a team fight, especially in choke points, so make sure you know where she is at all times so you can better avoid this wave. It's also worth factoring in Nami's itemization. She may have certain tools that can really ruin your day. For example, cleansing an ally with Mikhail's Blessing or baiting you in with a stopwatch. Make sure you keep pressing tab and checking what she may have that can shut you and your team down. Finally, let's take a look at some itemization that you can build to better your chances of winning against Nami. First off is going to be any spell shield or tenacity items. Now although Nami isn't known for her damage, a spell shield can help block that bubble that shuts you down, or a QSS or Mercury's Treads can help bring down that CC duration. Anti-healing items are by far your best bet. With Nami's ability to output a ton of healing during teamfights, items that apply grievous wounds will be a massive help. You can also get yourself a Serpent's Fang or a Shadow Flame. Now whilst Nami doesn't have direct shielding in her kit, she can gain access to them through runes and itemization. These items could be excellent choices if she's also paired with teammates who have additional shields. That's going to bring us to the end of this Nami counterplay video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and fingers crossed that it's going to help you in those games against Nami. That's all from us here at Mobalytics, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.